today I wanted to do a video about a one match fire, and this is I issued this challenge here. I got it from another video and I issued it to a learning group I'm on Facebook to see who would enter. So I'll go ahead and explain the rules. There isn't really too many rules other than no tools allowed. I'm not saying you can carry stuff, because I have something I'm carrying, just my water bottle and stuff. Just do not have any tools to help process, make feather sticks or anything like that. You have one match and a way to strike it, and whatever you find off the land to make that fire. So, going with that point there is, what I have here is some goldenrod. It's just a whole bunch of dead weeds. This stuff is the best. It goes up quick and it burns very hot, and it's up in the air, so it's wind blown, and I can collect tons of this stuff. It grows along these edges, and I can just grab it by the mass, just grab a whole bunch of it and go. So the first thing I will be collecting is this to help with my fire lay, and it could be any dead weeds. It doesn't have to be goldenrod. It's just what I have or what I found. So like I said, whatever you could possibly find will work great. So stick with me and we'll finish collecting some of this stuff up. What we have here is just some grasses. Grass is a flash tinder, so it will go up quick and burn very quickly. It is very hard to get a fire going with just plain grass, because it will burn so quickly. But if you combine that with some very good stuff like the goldenrod or dead weeds, whatever you can find, this is a great combination. And then you would add your stuff and you would be set. So I'll go ahead and collect some of this stuff up and we will go ahead and move on. Alright, what we have here is my next resource we're going to talk about. A lot of areas in the eastern woodlands have tulip poplar or cottonwood. Where I'm at, there is none of that located here. So, what I have to replace with that, it's not as good at all, but it's still usable. What it is some grapevine. It doesn't shred up very well, and I do have a knife on me, but if I wanted to, if I had that knife and I planned on using it, I could possibly scrape this and make a finer material with the inner bark. But if I collect some of this up, it does burn, as you saw in my last video, and it burns pretty well when you get it going. And I'll just kind of layer this in with the other stuff as I collect it. So I'm going to collect a little bit more of this. Alright, I'm down back at my camp. Here is the fire pit I built in the last video. And as you guys can see, it's icy. And that's completely okay. I'll just take the rabbit stick I made last time. And I've heard some people calling it different things. What I think about this is, you can do many things with it. It's straight. And if you can throw it at an animal and hit it and do what you gotta do, I don't care if it's curved, I don't care what it is. If it gets the animal and gets you food, that's what I care about. So, since I'm going to use a wedge on this, I'm going to scrape this out, and then we'll go ahead and get our one match fire built. Okay, what we have here is our fire pit dug back out, which took probably 2.5 minutes, if that. And right in here where this mud is, because it's pretty muddy because it was wet, I'll go ahead and put a platform down, just a simple platform, so that my tinder will not get wet. Okay, now that was pretty simple. We dug it up and we put a platform there, and I got my tinder, what I'm going to use to get the one match fire going. I have not used my knife to this point, and I'm not going to. So what I have here is, let's get this set up. This stuff is sitting on these dry leaves. This was just wet because it had snow on it and ice. What we have are these big weed tops, and if we want, we can go ahead and split them like that. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and split them up like this. Just like that. And lay them just like this. Kind of just make, I guess, a teepee, if you want to call it that. Whatever you want to call it. And it does not have to be perfect. Just get it to where it stands up like that. And as I see it say in many videos, it doesn't have to be perfect, because it doesn't. This stuff, as long as it works, that's what matters. Got my platform there for my dry stuff, and I want this down far enough to where it will catch my grass. So when I make that spot in there, what I'll go ahead and do now is, this grass is what I plan on taking the match, because it's a flash, and I know it will take a match since I don't have no tulip poplar or all that good stuff around my area. So use what you have. Just go ahead and just lay it out in there, just to where you know it will take a match really good. And when you get that, then I'll go ahead and take these big strips of vine, and if I want, I can try to process it up. I'm not sure how this will go. Just between your hands. Okay, that's going pretty good there. Now if you get not the outside of this bark, if you get the outside of it, it tends to crumble. And if you can get the inner strands where all the good stuff's at, it will make a decent nest in a way. Just pull it apart among itself. And I can go ahead and put this just like that, since I'm not using it as my initial source. Go ahead and keep one of those strips there and just kind of throw it on there, just so it burns. Get it off my glove and just throw the rest of it on there. Doesn't matter. Now, since I'm seeing this stuff, the way it's acting with me, it will process up, so that's pretty good. Just kind of rub it between your hands, and you can all go ahead and put this with the grass, since it will have very fine fibers and it will take the match as well. Now I'm going to use paper matches or a book of matches, very small, and you get one chance with them. I got one match, or I got a book of them, but I'll use only one. Now this stuff here will take a little bit. Once I feel comfortable with how this is, and this is processed up pretty well, it's very fine, it's a little bit, I'll go ahead and kind of just shove it down in there to where it will take a match along with that grass. Just make sure I have my area to put it in at. That's very important. So the last thing to do here is to collect some wood to throw on top. Wood here, again, nothing special. Just throw it on top, because it's all gonna burn. You know, just throw it. Make sure it's got plenty of updraft and air in here. You want plenty of air so that it can flow up through your tinder bundle and your wood. So just throw it all on here, just like that. And then the stuff that doesn't burn, I'll just put on after. So I have an area in here that will take my match, and then I'll kind of just let it rise up and through. Okay guys, I showed you the book of matches. I'll go ahead and grab the one out. It's a full book of matches. And it's one small match. So you don't have much to work with here. You want to make sure it's down in there and everything you've got is ready. And remember, the wind is why these things can be your worst nightmare, because they can just blow straight out. So go ahead and get the match very closely. Alright, there we go. And it'll burn up and through. Woo! That right there, guys, it's hard to do. I didn't know if it was going to take or not. So, go ahead and zoom out on the camera and I'll let you guys watch it. A small book of matches. While that's going right there, I'll go ahead and make sure this stuff, all the stuff right here is going to burn right where I want it to. And from now, right now, I can add what I want. And another use of this rabbit stick right here, or whatever you guys want to call it, if it can throw and hit an animal and get the meat, well, it works, and this would kill a rabbit. So I'll go ahead and add, or kind of push this stuff. It'd be like a poker. Just like that. And right now, you could add more wood. And you want to make sure this all gathers in one spot. You don't want the coals to separate that much in the beginning, because you're trying to make a cool base. And you can just go ahead and add more wood. As you saw, that got pretty big. And I wasn't using pine. And pine's probably one of the best in my opinions because of the resins in it. So I think it's one of the best woods to use for fire starting. And you saw that stuff went straight up quickly, because all that dead weeds works great. Okay, right there is how you do a one-match fire. It's pretty simple. When you're using these small matches, it is very difficult, but getting the material and all that's pretty simple. In my area, I don't have the ideal stuff. Like grapevine, that's not very ideal, but it works. As you see, all I used was the match and the striker. So I would love to see you guys enter. There's no prize or anything, it's just to see how you do. Just make a video if you can. I post it on the Learning Center, like I said. I've saw this from a video before, and that's how I got the idea. So anybody who wants to enter the challenge, it would be great. Let me know if you do in the comments so I can watch your video, and I'll comment and tell you what I think. So that being said, let me know what you guys think of my video on it. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Comment. Tell me what you think about it. If you have any questions, or if you want to send maybe your video privately through an email or something like that, I'll put my email below. So as always, thanks for watching, guys.